Hi there guys, my name's John from ActiveJR.com. In this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Lumus Smart Helmet that you can use for cycling. Now I've been using this helmet now for the last couple of weeks, taking it through its paces and used all the features. So hopefully this will give you a good overview whether this is right cycling safety helmet for you. Now before we get started, if you do like this helmet, there's some links in the description below where you can purchase the helmet. And also there's also a link to my website which has got a load more fitness information, reviews, smart tech and all that great stuff. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so starting with the design of the helmet, it's made of a PC shell with an EPU liner, and it's also got ventilation slots along the top as well. Now the helmet also features 48 LED lights, 10 of them being on the front and the rest appear on the back. Now the ones on the front are white LEDs and the ones on the back are red with also orange as well for the indicators, which I'll talk a little bit later on about. Also on the back you will also find the power on button and the charging port. Also at the bottom you'll also see the adjuster, which can be used to adjust the size to your head. Now inside of the helmet you've also got padding and you've also got the strap which fasten the helmet to your head. And there's one thing to point out about the strap, that the strap doesn't have a chin strap, and I did find it irritable at times. Now the helmet is rather heavy, it's 450 grams, and comparing it to my current helmet that I use all the time, you do feel the difference. Now the weight is in the back because that's where all the tech stuff is. The helmet is also waterproof, so you can use it if you are cycling in the rain. Now the helmet is also certified to US and European standards. In addition to the helmet in the box, you also get the control unit. Now this is used for the turn directions on the helmet. So now moving on to the smart features and performance. So first of all, starting with lights, I've already said it includes 48 lights. There's 10 on the front and there is 38 on the back. Now on the front they are white LED lights. Whilst they are bright and they can be seen in light and dark conditions, they're certainly not enough to replace your front bike light. Now on the back you've got the red triangle which consists of 18 lights, and either side you've also got 10 amber lights, but they also double up as the red brake lights as well. Now these lights can also have 3 different patterns. Now the default pattern is a solid light, and then the 2 others are a 3-second interval and a 1-second interval, and these can be changed by pressing the power button down for a couple of seconds. The Lumus helmet also features indicator lights. Now these are featured on the back and the front. Now these are controlled by a control unit which fits on the handlebars, and fitting this is like fitting any other bicycle accessory. You use the silicone bands to fit the mount, and then you fit on the control unit to the handlebars. Now these are great for giving signals to other road users. However, I do want to point out that I was still using arm signals, and I know the reviewers have said these are a great addition so you don't have to take your hands off the handlebars. I would still recommend you use the arm signals. Also using your turning directions, it also beeps to alert you that it's actually it's activated and it's giving you turn signals. Now the maker of the helmet say to mount the control unit on the handlebars in this way. However, I found when using it on a road bike that if you are going at speed, taking off on the handlebars to push the button and then to stick your hand out, it requires quite a lot of different movements. One of your hands occupied doing something else can also result in an accident. So I found mounting the control unit where you would normally mount a Garmin remote was a lot easier, because then it was naturally in the same place that your riding position was in. All you needed to do is press the button and then put your arm out, which would mean you would have less chance of losing control of your bike, but it just makes it a lot more stable. The helmet also includes braking lights. Now this again is controlled by the accelerometer built into the control unit that's on the bike, and this detects when you are slowing down or stopping and it puts the lights on at the back. Now, it's quite hard to determine whether it's working all the time, given it's on the back of the helmet. So what I had is somebody watched for 10 minutes while they were following me, and I indicated when I was slowing down, and 9 times out of 10, it worked okay. Now, there's a couple of things just to point out. One, don't rely on this to indicate to other road users that you're slowing down, because they're not used to having indicator lights or certainly brake lights on the back of bicycles. Second thing is, it's still in beta. So that means it won't work all the time. So that goes back to my first point. If it doesn't work and you're thinking that you're telling someone behind you slowing down and you're not watching, you could involve yourself in an accident. But also because it's still in beta, the battery life is not great when using this feature. So I used it along with the indicators and the solid lights, and it only lasted an hour and 10 minutes. Now, the light performance overall in both daytime and nighttime is really good. Yeah, you can still see the lights in the daytime, and certainly at nighttime your helmet is really visible. And now, one thing I've already said, I would not ditch your existing bike lights. I would use this helmet as an additional thing, because the more visible you can be, the less likely you may hit by another road user. Now, moving on to the app is very simple. Now, installing the helmet onto the app is very simple, very straightforward. Now, the app is split into 3 sections. You've got settings, dashboard, and profile. Now, in the settings section, you've got the battery notifications, you've got the auto ride tracking, and you've got the distance, how you want to measure distances. You've also got fitness data sync. Now, you can sync with Strava and you can sync with Apple Home if you are tracking using the app. Now, you've also got the ability to change the turn signal beeping frequency, and then you've also got the warning lights activation, where you can turn off the warning lights or turn it on if you choose to do so. And now in the dashboard, you get the ability to be able to see the battery life of the control unit and the helmet, and also as well activate tracking. Now, talking about tracking for a second, you've got the ability to be able to track and then sync your ride with Strava if you choose to do so. Now, I can see why the makers have decided to do this, but also at the same time, I can't really see the benefit. If you spent £150 or $170 on this helmet, you more than likely have already purchased a fitness tracker, which you already track your cycling activities and your other fitness activity. So it seems a bit redundant. I can see why they've done it, but I can't imagine many people are going to use it. So moving on to the battery and battery charging performance. Now, the makers of this helmet say that it takes 6 hours of use to run down the battery and 2 hours to charge the helmet, and the latter is true. The charging time is about 2 hours, and it's done with the proprietary charging cable, which charges both the helmet and the control unit. However, the battery life, I'm not too sure whether it will really live up to the 6 hours, and it also all depends on the settings you're using. So what I did over 10 rides is did different assessments, and this is my findings. So if you're using all of the features, including the braking light, these are the times you're roughly going to get based on the light frequencies. And then if you take away the brake light warning system, these are the times. Now, at the final one, obviously you're getting very close to the 6 hours, but it's still way off. So overall, the battery performance will get you through merely a daily commute or an evening training ride. Now, the big question is, should you buy this helmet? I think that's all down to the user and what they want from the helmet. It's solidly built, it feels really good, it's comfortable on the head, and all of them things are a plus for it. It is, however, heavy, and the ventilation, I didn't find it that great. It certainly wasn't terrible, but I found that I did sweat more. The big thing is the lights and all of those features that are on the helmet. It will certainly be great for cycling safety, and it'll be certainly great for providing extra visibility. However, don't rely on this purely as an indication that you're turning or you're stopping, because other road users might not pay attention to it. So certainly use your existing common sense and your existing practices that you already do already. Now, my recommendation, this is a type of helmet you want to buy for winter time when it's darker and the visibility is not as great, when you're out on the early morning training rides or you're riding late in the evening. But it's certainly not something that I would recommend for a Sunday club ride or even a 100-mile sporty, because it's certainly not going to last. So guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not a subscriber already, please subscribe. And also check out my website. There's plenty of other information on there. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon.